Well, the president today repeating his call for an end to tax breaks for oil companies.
Does anyone really think that Congress should give them another $4 billion this year? They don't need a subsidy. Ending the subsidies for oil companies.
They aren't smart, and we need to end them.
But what about subsidies for these companies, green companies? Because while oil and gas companies get about $4 billion in various tax breaks, green companies this year are slated to get more than $8 billion worth. So is it time to end all the subsidies for all the energy companies? Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee, what do you think?
Well, I think it's time to get government out of the business of picking winners and losers in industry. And so we ought to get rid of all the subsidies. And that's why I've proposed legislation that I've co-sponsored with several of my colleagues that would end all subsidies, all tax credit subsidies within the energy industry.
All right, now the quick turnaround for that, you might have heard Newt Gingrich a little earlier on the show, Senator, that would be tantamount to a tax hike, and he's against tax hikes. What would you say?
Well, this bill contains an offset so that corporate taxes as a whole are reduced to a corresponding degree, so it's not a tax hike.
So you would be looking at a way to make up that lost revenue, let's say it's $4 billion or so. How to the oil companies?
Well, just cut taxes, cut corporate taxes across the board so that this isn't a benefit going to specific players within a specific industry, but is instead a benefit shared by everyone in business in America. Because the problem that we have right now is we have government deciding who's going to fail and who's going to succeed according to which tax credits are going to be allocated to which of the favored industries or which of the favored corporations. And that's part of what's wrong with our economy right now.
You know, Senator, the reason why the administration says the green guys, these rechargeable battery and solar panel types need these breaks is because they're at a competitive disadvantage to oil guys. So if everyone puts down their subsidy or credit arms, if you will, then decided advantage to the fossil fuel guys. What do you say?
Well, at that point, then those people will become competitive at some point, and when they do become competitive, then they'll be able to compete in a market economy. But our market economy and the free enterprise system as a whole can't function adequately when the government is constantly propping up one industry at the expense of another end of it.
You know, on the gas price situation here, the president says it's a mistake for Republicans to always say, drill, baby, drill. And maybe some other Democrats are saying the answer is tap the petroleum reserve, tap the reserve. What do you say?
Well, I think we do need to drill. Look, much as the president wants us to have other alternatives, and much as we all agree that we need an all-of-the-above strategy, we are still dependent on liquid fuels, and we're going to continue to be dependent on liquid fuels for the foreseeable future, probably for the rest of our lifetimes. So we do have to drill. I'm against tapping the strategic petroleum reserve, at least not right now, because that's there for a true emergency, a situation in which we're really under siege, a situation in which the world supply of oil is truly being blocked by some truly abnormal event. And not, on the other hand, simply to boost the president's approval numbers. He's going into an election cycle aware of the fact that the price of gasoline is going through the roof, and he just wants to ease the political pain accompanying that. That's not what it's there for.
All right. We're going to explore that later on this show. But in the meantime, Senator, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.